All right, welcome back to the finals with the Nexus SNU Valorant tournament sponsored by Cryptronics. We apologize for the delay as the match was supposed to be held at 2:15, so we've been delayed by a couple of hours, but here we are and back again for the finals. We're moving in for the final match between Chapralis and Team Noobs. Chapralis have enjoyed a very dominant form over the entire series so far, and Noobs have made their way, struggling a little bit on the semifinals, but eventually making it over to the finals. And now we'll have a short ad break starting now. And welcome back, everybody. We're heading into the final match between Chapralis and Noobs. After a quick word from our sponsors, Cryptronics. Cryptronics is a PC parts provider and builder that provides custom gaming PCs, accommodating to your personal needs.
Choose your
Sorish is
agent.
joining me today on the casting team. And Sorish, what do you think about custom PCs and Cryptronics in general?
Well, I think Kryptonics really gives us a lot of opportunities to customize our PCs and improve our FPS, especially because gamers really dig that shit.
Yeah.
I think we're really lucky, and I think the match is about to begin. Um, The lineup of the agents seem to be very interesting. As you can see, we have Jet and Omen, who will be the main smoke providers. They have Sage and Reyna, who are self-healing. Um, while on the on the attacker side, I think the balance is pretty nice. They do have a chamber on the attacking side, which we saw in the previous match wasn't a very effective strategy, but perhaps they'll have something interesting coming up.
All right, yeah, sorry. I mean, I guess you're pretty on point with that description. The only changes from that squad is Chamber versus Sage. Now, obviously, Sage is starting off over on the defense. That would be by Chapralis. And I really, I'm excited to see how, because, coming in from the Mortals versus new Team Noobs match, we really didn't see an effective use of the Sage. And considering Chapralis' dominant form over the entire series, I really want to see some really good Sage players, some aggressive, cheeky little players coming out from that Sage over there. That Sage, I mean, what do you say you're going to call her considering that they have no name on the scoreboard over here?
Depending on how they play, I might end up calling them the one who must not be named.
All right, we're heading into round one, and we're seeing a pretty balanced setup. And we're moving towards the A by Team Noobs over here. But no, Mama Milky gets that kill onto Nyx, shuts them down, and absolutely removes any aggression. Chapralis is showing them why they've
Oh,
been
damn.
absolutely dominating by HK Gamer over there. And I mean, Reina, HK Gamer picking up, but Daz gets that kill on to Reina. Just shut down that aggression. But yes, Jed is right there. I got you, bro. I got you back. Finishes that up and eliminates Team Noobs from the scoreboard. Now,
I believe Daz is is substituting for Pukai. Pukai, who was earlier very dominant in the previous game and top tagging. So I think we'll get to watch how Daz plays, and perhaps a newer playstyle would improve the team's performance. That only remains to be seen. Going into the second round, given they lost the first, they're buying up only pistols, and it's a regular eco where the defending side has bought on a couple of SMGs. So this should be easy kills for team defense.
it's important to note that Mama Milky's Reina on the defending side on Chapralis has bought into that Vandal with half armor, and let's see if she can convert those into some really doming and really stream worthy kills. Because honestly, that Vandal mixed with the Spectres, you really don't know how it's gonna turn out. But let's see if they can make it work.
This is actually very interesting. This is I think the first game that we're seeing where the pace is really slow and everyone's playing very carefully. I think that can tell us how much of an exciting match we'll have ahead of us. And Mama Milky's gets the first kill onto Akai quite easy.
Walkie, the Sova on Team Chapralis does get that kill onto the mid aggressor. Nyx is following up with that
One
kill on
enemy
Walkie,
remaining.
but HKK Gamer shuts down Daz. Omen is just the last one remaining in the mix, but he is being anticipated.
And Sage gets the final kill.
That's a little aggressive position. You'd want them to, just relax, be on the back of the side. But no, Sage, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to shut down that aggression.
Given it was the second round where they bought on weapons, I think she could have taken that risk. And fair
Yeah,
enough.
I suppose. I mean, considering that Omen only had a pistol in that entire round.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's a pretty standard start. Although Chapralis does have that advantage going into round 3 of the finals of the Nexus SNU tournament. Now let's see in this first rifle v rifle round, or it's not even rifle v rifle round. Chapralis have maintained their SMGs, and it's never worked out for any of the teams in the
Standing
series.
ahead.
So let's see if Team
I have
Noobs'
the spike.
rifles can actually finally counter Chapralis' SMGs. I think Chapralis is going to take it very slow, very close angles, perfect for the SMG. But Hakai gets that initial kill onto HKK Gamer. Cyclops Elite eliminates Sage from the game. Mama Milky does get that kill onto Disaster and follows it up with a kill on Hakai. Amazing Reina on Reina action. Mama Milky is really
down
pulling the
A.
hard ones to Chapralis. Finishes off with the 3K, but Nyx is there to wrap it up for Team Chapralis. It's a 2v2, and Butterscotch is heading over towards Heaven over here. Flashes them. The spike has not been planted yet. Spike is only being recovered. They're doing it very late. I honestly think they've messed up with the spike placement over there.
enemy remaining.
But no.
Last
Nyx
player
does follow it up and he
And
runs
Nyx
out of
runs out of
bullets.
bullets! Oh my god, that was crazy.
I would hate to be in that position. Team Noobs was just like about to win that round. Butterscotch was on his last legs. But no, the Spectres, extra bullets, extra fire rate does prevail, and he runs out of bullets and they wipe up the round. Now, I mean, Noobs have to be very bitter with that because Not only did Chapralis get rid of all of their SMGs, they're buying into the next round with operators and a full stack of utility, rifles, and armor. So,
Let's
I mean,
watch it
Chapralis are
struggle.
looking as dominant as they've been looking in the entire series, and obviously, Team Noobs have been relegated to using pistols with half armor. Let's see if they can convert that into some crucial kills
Insight.
needed by them. Maybe Noobs is gonna get what's coming to them. Let's see what they can do.
Mama Milky trying to get a couple of opening kills. Looking at round 4, they seem to be a little keen on getting into B. I think Chamber is entering the site is trying to enter the site with the Spike.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going for those Hail Mary plays. They're just swapping around the Spectre here and there. You know, they've gotten access to one Spectre. So currently, they do have the lead. It's a 5v4 in favor of Noobs. And they're moving towards the B side, but then...
But
it's
no-
not like Chapralis is, capitalizing on that movement. Hakai does get that kill onto Mama Milky's. You have to remember Mama Milky's was 55 HP. So, that must have been a fairly easy kill to get. And fairly important one because Mama Milky's has been doing a lot of the heavy pulling for Chapralis so far. So, eliminating her from the game has to be a very, very important factor. Disaster gets that kill onto
down,
stage,
B.
eliminates her from the game. Disaster is waiting for the final kill on Butterscotch, but no, cannot capitalize. It's a
30
2v2,
seconds left.
and Chapralis seems to be back
Last player
into favor.
standing.
But Nyx takes
One
out
enemy
Butterscotch.
remaining.
HKE Gamer is still there to follow it up, and Nyx uses teleport. That's such a quick ult in this early into the game. To be fair, Nyx on the board with
Spike planted.
5 kills already. I think that would have been a long time coming. He's gonna go for one of those cheeky plays. He's going to play a little passive. He's going to wait for Daz. Sorry, not Daz. HKK Gamer to give up some of his positioning. And
Yeah, we must also remember that HKK Gamer most likely knows that Nyx has very low health right now. And that will perhaps prompt Nyx to play as safe as possible because no early peaks can be taken. Which might allow HKK Gamer to get the first half of the diffuse out of the way because he'll be a little scared and
that is true. It's important to remember also that he does not have a flash remaining. So maybe he cannot even properly finish it. There's some...
there you go. Nyx is trying to play it safe. And HKK Gamer gets a kill, but I don't think he has a defuse. And
Thrifty.
yes! There you go.
Absolutely.
Team Noobs
that
gets
is
their
the-
first round on the board.
Yeah. Good job done by Nyx over there on the Team Noobs side, and I think Noobs are going to be very thankful for his contribution towards that round win. Although it's not normal to see a controller, sitting up on the scoreboard with 5 kills right now. You usually try to see duelists in that role, but maybe Hakai and Disaster can follow it up later on. It's important to know that Disaster is not the Omen from the previous match. Disaster has taken up a Jet role in this match, so maybe their Ascent setup is better than their Bind setup in terms of Jet versus Omen. All right, there's some mid aggression, early mid push by HKK
We
Gamer.
might get the first kill from HKK Gamer, but he missed the shot.
Yeah, whips the
And
shot
trying
and
to fall back.
Here.
does get tagged by Reina over there. It's going there for the Sage heal. It's very crucial. That's what Sage makes a difference with. Chapralis may have met their match in this particular matchup, but everybody's trying to play it a little slow. No unnecessary kills giving away. So let's see. Okay, Sage gets that kill onto Hakai. Mama Milky follows it up with a kill on Daz. Mama Milky is in a very aggressive positioning with her ult. That's the second ult we've seen in the game this early on into the match. And let's see if she can capitalize it on with that backstab. All right, misses the initial shots
And she's trying to push in the other person, knowing that she's. Oh, and Disaster gets the shot.
Yeah.
Disaster brings Disaster to team
Chapralis.
Chapralis.
I know these are the confusing, man. I mean I don't blame you at all. Honestly, Chapralis, wordplay with Astralis and Chapri, I suppose. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, Nyx gets that spike down.
This is the second time Nyx has to clutch around.
Yeah, but
Again
then
in a
look
one.
at this. Odds are significantly worse. It's 1v3 as opposed to 1v1 in the previous round.
But he has full health and armor, so let's see what he has to say. And
He holds that angle perfectly. I don't think he could have done anything better in that situation. You have to be in a very cheeky spot, get that first kill so that the other players are pulled back a bit. But then no, he really whiffs that first shot. I think there were a bunch of equal whiffs in that entire round, especially the one with HK Gamer against Hakai, especially in the opening half. But then
I think Sova played it very carefully too. I think he released a recon dart which allowed him to know that that is where he was sitting.
yeah, that's true. I actually actually had forgotten about that. Thank you for bringing it to my attention because that's honestly that's a sort of make or break play
Right.
over there, and that again highlights the importance of Sova. I mean, Sova is one of the OG agents of the game, and you don't really see a high pick rate, honestly. But this is this really goes on to show that all right, Sova is a very important factor. Again, with the recon dart, gets that initial information. They're relegated to pistols, and now
You
they have
want to
all the
play?
information that yes,
Let's
they're
play.
focused on over B, and you're already seeing some aggression with Jet over there on mid. He's waiting for somebody to peek him, and here it
And
comes.
here
Here
it
it comes.
comes. And he
with the
misses the
shot.
shot.
With Dave is an operator, but unfortunately, fortunately for him, maybe he lives and maybe can utilize that better in the later half of the game. HK Gamer is biding his time, playing a very off angle on shot, but does get smoked off. Can't really do anything about it. And I have to give credit to Noobs. They're playing it very patiently. They're very level, they're very measured. Now, see, with that drone, they have that initial information. Now it's an ult v ult and jet v jet. Let's see who gets the kill, and nobody does. That's so weird. But okay, Chamber is pushing up into side. They have the side.
Cyclops gets the opening kill, and this is where we see the importance of Cyclops coming in an tactical position.
Yeah, I was talking about that jet on jet action.
Oh, and
Jet-
Hawkeye gets a
Yeah,
one kill.
yeah. I was talking about that jet on jet action, and Jet does follow it up on kill on HKK Gamer. Disaster was the HKK, that was perfect. Hakai wraps it up with a shot on Omen, absolutely eliminates from the game. Noob is going into this game with a significantly better advantage. 3v1 over here. Can Sova do anything? And he cannot. Thrifty win for Team Noobs on pistols only. I have to commend them from that one. As dominant as Chapralis has looked over this entire series, I think Team Noobs did an amazing job with that eco push. Amazing, honestly.
Alright, coming into the next round, round number 6, we have Chapralis, I think only buying up pistols, one Marshall and one SMG. Kind of a weird buy, I would think. A team at this stage would most likely either go for an entire save. This half buy, I'm not able to make much sense of it, but I think they have something up their sleeves.
Honestly, I'm really excited to see what they do with this, considering their creativity so far. I've been told that they've been getting knife kills and everything, and still winning in a dominant fashion. So I want to see what they can do with those martial buys. But initially, not so much, because Hakai does convert that Mandel into a kill on Mama Milky's. Playing for that aggressive positioning, can Hakai get that kill onto Omen in heaven? They're playing for a very standard setup, and she does. She absolutely wraps the floor with Omen over there. Spike has been planted, and Chapralis are running out of options to convert this round into a victory. Now, it's important to see that Noobs is gaining so much momentum on the attacking side, because on the defending side, it's arguably easier. Even on Ascent compared to Bind, they're very similar maps. Not a lot of verticality. Oh, wow. Walkie does land a couple of those blind shots onto, and oh my god, this action is too difficult to comprehend. Nick somehow, saves the team, I guess, wraps up with a kill on Jet and saves.
But Chapralis actually had a very good round. They seem to have been able to, only with pistols and SMGs, kill 3 out of 5 players.
That is true.
That would have damaged their economy considerably. And now it has seemed to sort of balance out, and all teams have rifles.
Yeah, in a way, I think that was really necessary, because even this round, Chapralis, Team Noobs can afford and go in with Vandals and everything. But yes, that crucial economic damage is very, very important. What would have been even better if Chapralis did it a little later and waited for the spike kill for on both of the last 2 players. But it's all right. I think they did that as well as they could. All right, some mid aggression by Team Noobs, moving on towards the middle, towards B. Sova is launching his ult, gets 1 kill onto Sage, 1 shot onto Sage, but on Cyclops follows it up. I think that's a really good team effort, really good coordination with Team Noobs. I mean, what do you think about this,
Player
Sorry?
standing.
So I think it's excellent, especially the way Chamber kept rushing Market and got through and got the kill in spite of the flow of that Sage released. I think that was a very dangerous move, but it seemed to have worked out.
You know what? I think Team Noobs have been coming into this match saying, you know what, you guys have bullied everybody, and we won't be bullied. All right, we're taking a stance, and we're gonna meet you head to head. I don't care what you bring. I'm gonna meet you head to head, and I'm gonna wipe you out. I think that's the mentality that Team Noobs are going in, because it's important to not be intimidated by your opponents, right? And all right, now considering the economy of this round, Team Chapralis have been once again relegated to a very weird half buy with some Spectres, a Marshall, and a Stinger, with Pistols finishing up the rest of the roster. Now, unfortunately, they won't get a lot of chance to utilize it because a lot of the presence is towards A, and A has been left empty, with the exception of Reina and Jet on shot. Now Reina is on that Marshall. Now it's a little difficult because Reina is a very fast operator. It's a very mobile operator. So getting that kill on with the Marshall, I don't think the mobility really helps there. But honestly, Mama Milkis will not let that stop her. Gets that kill onto Hakai, gets revenge, but Nyx wraps it up. HK Gamer removes Cyclops Elite from server. Disaster does follow it up though. Some insane jet on jet action that, honestly, if you want agent on agent action, I think Jet is playing it very well. Nyx uses the ultimate for the second time in this game, fakes it out so that, they're worried. Alright, he might be behind us. He might be. I think he did waste it a bit though because they're not going up against the full economy, right? So wasting your ult on a round where the other team is on eco. Alright, hold on. I mean, I guess the same could be said to Sage over here because she rezzed Mama Milky's over there. And oh my god, it's a 3v2 in favor of Chapralis. 3v2, now 2v1. Can Nyx follow it up with a kill? Can Nyx get that initial kill? But
and Reina.
do they have time though? Does Mama Milky's have time? I think she does. She can get the defuse down because.
Oh no, I think it's going to be very close.
Very
It's going to be
close.
very close and she.
Suggesting everything in me.
That was amazing. Those ults really did a top job over here because holy crap. I don't know what to say there. The Chapralis came in. You know what? You got an eco kill. We're gonna get a proper eco round, right? Don't worry about that. So if you're beating us head to head, we're gonna bring them momentum. We're gonna push you all the way.
Super. I don't know why I'm using the entire seat. I think I'm using only the edge of the seat, man. This is a very
Honestly,
tight
yes.
game. But one thing you really must notice is that Chapralis was, ended up using two ults that we thought was a waste, but it is in fact the two ults that ended up saving them.
Actually,
I
no,
think it's
it was Nyx on Team Noobs that used one of his ults and then Sage on Team Chapralis. But yes,
Right.
yeah, we were worried whether it was waste or
Yes,
not.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think it is also a slightly desperate move because they've lost 3 rounds consecutively now.
That is true. That is true. Let's see if HK Team Chapralis can maintain this momentum. HK Gamers playing that very cheeky angles, playing it slow and does get that kill on Jet, does get revenge, but Daz is right there to follow it up for the teammate, gets revenge, avenge the teammate and everything. Nyx is a little aware of that backstab because it's affected them very dastardly over the past few rounds. So Nyx is trying to play safe. It is important to know that Nyx does have the spike, so maybe they're going for that, A push now. They've shown aggression towards B, they've shown aggression towards mid, but now they're moving up towards A.
Butterscotch gets,
Yep.
gets an opener. I believe he's now moving towards. Okay, so standard 2v4. Everyone's trying to just get a kill. No one's making any noise. And
Spike
Mama
down
Milky
A.
takes out Nyx.
So that's the spike right there. So and Mama Milky is worried. Is there somebody there? Do I have somebody to worry about? But no, Mama Milky has her ult charge and everything. But no, I think it's a 4v1 against
30
Sova.
seconds left.
I don't think there's a point in using her ult over in that situation. I want to see what Daz does. Can he salvage this for his team? He's playing a very cheeky position right now. He's right behind enemy lines.
I think he'll get a kill on
He
the walk.
capitalizes it, and he
And
does.
he gets a kill on the
Absolutely
walk.
wipes out Sova.
I think he's expecting another player close by, but he just missed the shot.
Yeah, switches out for his knife.
That ends the round.
Dukes over there, but it's all right. I think could not have done anything better in that situation. All right, we're moving into round 11 of the finals in the Nexus SNU Valorant tournament sponsored by Cryptonics, and we're seeing a very head-to-head battle. I don't think any other match has been this
balanced.
balanced so far in the series. Honestly, it's a little sad that we're seeing this in the finals because I honestly expected a lot of exciting action in the lower series. But yes, I think this makes it all worth it. And now coming to the Noobs' offensive, they're setting up towards a B push. Clearly, A doesn't seem to be working for them right now because of the 30 kill by 30 round win by Team Chapralis. Hakai follows it up with an kill on HKK Gamer. Gets revenge for his teammate Cyclops Elite. Now the ult seems to have been wasted, but Team Chapralis is placing this one close to the heart because they're not willing to give up any quarters. They're not giving, but Daz does capitalize and gets that kill onto Sage. Can they enter into the B side effectively? And yes, they can. Team Chapralis have relegated to 2 players only. It's a 4v2, and the spike will be planted by Daz. Just moments from me saying this. Hakai, Mama Milky is moving up. They're going to go for that B backstab. Hopefully catch them out that way. But will it be enough? Because Disaster, sorry, Butterscotch and Reina over here, Mama Milky's, they have a crossfire. Team Noobs have set up a crossfire. I don't think they can cross onto side without exposing themselves from
I don't-
either one of the angles.
Right, that is true, Super. I don't think their strategy is anymore to try to take this side.
Player
Rather,
standing.
they should be waiting for exit kills.
Yeah, and I
They
don't.
tried to do that.
It was very weird because Butterscotch was playing a very
Last
off angle. He
round
was
in
going
the
in for the
half.
score, smoke, and Disaster just wraps around. Is there somebody there? And knock. Yes, it is. Absolutely wipes the floor with Omen over there, Butterscotch over there, and follows it up with a kill on Mom and Milky. So I think Chapralis will end that round a little bitter, but hopefully they can capitalize on that energy. It is important to note that Jet has been relegated to a Stinger, although Stinger in the hands of a Jet. I mean, I think that's a nightmare waiting to happen. So let's see how they work with that.
And we step into round 12. Team Noobs seem to be better equipped at this point, given they have one operator. And this is the ult that's coming out of Daz, trying to dazzle us, and he gets a kill onto Rage.
Absolutely
Sage.
dazzling by Daz over there. Honestly, I mean, I'm still keeping count on the puns over there. So
That's 3 for today.
3 for today. Let's go. I mean, I'm winning. I'm totally winning today. All right. So Daz and Team Noobs follow it up with a initial mid push, follow it up with a aggression. It hasn't worked for them in the past. Let's see if they can work for them now.
Daz is expecting someone on the other side, and he gets a hold of Jet, but Jet escapes. I don't think Jet realizes that Daz was there, but
You want
that
to
arrow gives
play?
it away.
Let's play.
And now Daz is trying to fall back through mid, but gets taken
Not
off.
that SKK Gamer does get that kill as well. So they equalize. Now it's a 3v2 instead of a 4v2, and that might just mean the difference between a round win or a round loss. So honestly, that was a really cheeky move by HKK Gamer. But yes, they do turn it around, and they have a slight advantage for now. But considering the clock is ticking and the spike is going down, they have to move fast or either get exit kills.
I think Chambers' ult just came out. He's holding his sniper, ready to shoot. And Nyx takes the last player out. And this is, I think, the most balanced game we've seen so far. 6-6, that's really tight.
Switching
I
sides.
think Team Noobs has successfully located Team Chapralis's weakness, because as you see in these late round plays, Team Chapralis seem to be a little clueless as to what do they want to do. Do they want to play for exit frags? Do they want to play for the round win? What do they want to do? Because if there's no consistency in that, if there's no if there's no sync in that, then obviously you're going to lose a lot of economy. But anyway, we've wrapped up the half, and honestly, moving into the second half, I'm really excited as to what Team Noobs will do on their defending side, considering how dominant they were in the semis. So let's see if they can carry over that impression that they've given us and absolutely obliterate Chapralis.
I believe we're in a timeout right now. I think one of the players is facing some technical issue. But while we're back. So interesting to see that everyone in Team Noob seems to have gone for the Ghost. I think they just fancy themselves Ghost players.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of Team Chapralis seem to be stacking one side, that's A. They're trying to make the entry. Sova tries to get their information. And we have all 5 people. Jet has made the entry. And that's 2 down. Nyx is
Oh my God.
lighting up the board. Oh my god.
Last player
Dude,
standing.
did you see that? Did you see that setup by Nyx and Jet? I mean, see, they were distracted by Jet because Jet made that initial push, right? Like, oh, look, I'm here, I'm the bait. And then she rushes back behind Generator.
Right.
And Nyx is right there. You know what? You fell right into my trap, boys, and just wipes the floor with them, because I did not expect such creativity out of Team Noobs. But honestly, they're really playing against whatever the name they've given themselves. They're certainly
Right
not
here.
Noobs, and they're certainly here to give Chapralis a run
Right
for their
here.
money.
Alright, going into round 14. Again, pretty standard setup. They seem to be playing a split. I believe Jet will be trying to play a lock role, wherein he will try to push in a little late round. Hakai trying to get a couple of pistol kills. Unfortunately, Mama Milky's takes her out with the Marshall. Daz trying to push in mid, trying to make some space for his team.
I think Sage really escaped certain death in that situation because, do you realize the significance of this setup? Team Noobs did not want to give any quarter, so they pushed up extremely ahead in the middle sector. Okay, and honestly, I think they could not have played that better, especially considering the second round of the round. But here we go. I mean, Sage follows it up with a kill onto Nyx over here. Does she
I don't think
expect
she
Sova in that
expects
angle?
and Sova gets a 3K and wins the round.
Wow.
Oh.
That was unfortunate. Unfortunately, could not do anything better in that situation. It's all right, I suppose. It's a little interesting because we really expected some aggressive plays out of Sage in the defending side, but she did her job in the attacking side. I hope she can carry this momentum over and capitalize on the sort of confusion she can create as a sentinel in aggressive positions. So let's see if that helps Chapralis with the round win. But currently, Team Noobs are going into round 15 with a lot more, 2 more round wins, and clearly they look to be the favorites considering the economic situation. Now, hold on, wait.
I wonder why Noobs is not buying up.
Actually, no. I'm actually I'm gonna have to swallow my words there because Team Noobs have bought into the next round with only
A Sheriff, a
yeah.
Marshal, a Spectre.
It's a very confusing buy for the round winners of the previous round. Unfortunately for them, they will be up against a full stack of rifles and utility. All right. The production team has informed me about a pause, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back from the round pause and we're heading into round 15. Hopefully, Team Noobs can carry over this momentum, but it does seem unlikely considering that they're going up using a full stack of rifles.
But you understand, Super, if they pull this off, then we'll perhaps see another 2 round wins by Noob.
Honestly, yes, because see, what does that open them up to? Noobs with full stack of rifles and oh my
Disaster strikes disaster onto
this.
Butterscotch.
Look at that. Hakai is making those pistols
Oh my God.
against Vandals and Phantoms. Hakai follows it up with the 2 kills with the Sheriff. Absolutely wipes the floor.
This is absolutely
With the
unprecedented
top
for such a
fraggers.
team.
It's not even the
fought
support
well.
players, it's the top fraggers. And once again, Sage is left to the mercy of Team Noobs. Unfortunately for her, she can't even res right now because it's a new half.
It was 10 seconds, Super. 10 seconds and they're all dead.
Honestly.
You blink it and you miss it.
Honestly, yeah. And Sage, oh my god, bottles it. Unfortunately for Team Chapralis, they cannot continue their aggressive form in the series. And Team Noobs put the next round win on the board. Unfortunately for Team Chapralis, they're relegated to the same bye the Team Noobs had in the previous round. And it seems to be a switch.
And the Noob seem to have been able to save 3 of the rifles.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
Team Chalice,
It's all free
Chapralis
rifles,
gifted
sir.
to them. Yeah.
Free rifles, free real estate. Team Noobs seem to be taking all sorts of advantages in this game today. Really, pushing the limits as to what they can do over here.
Really, I take situation down here, man.
Yeah. All right. Daz lines up that Sova nade over there and does not follow it up with any damage whatsoever. Although he does seem to be aware of Walkie's presence over here in the B entrance, but he doesn't seem to be peeking so far. Oh, the crosshair was almost lined up over their faces. Not a lot going on in the rest of the area of the map, but there seemed to be a little cheeky kill on Cyclops, who was, on the Vandal. But, Sage does get that Sheriff kill. I think Sage is more effective on the attacking side for Team Chapralis, however they're running her. But I honestly, considering the 4v4, it'll be really difficult for Team Chapralis to, convert this into a for them.
One down.
Oh my god. Sage gets a double shot onto Hakai and opens up the round for the team to make some progress.
Oh no, wait, look at this. Sage is going for the team res on to HKK Gamer. And honestly, I think Sage took everything personal because Hakai has been wrapping up with their entire with her teammates. How dare you attack my teammates? I'm not just a healer.
30
I can
seconds left.
dish out equal amounts of damage as I can heal. So don't you worry about me, little kid. And I'm gonna wipe the floor with you over here. Oh my god, Mama Milkies. I think that if the Marshal had to be working, that's the best way to get it working. That's a fantastic kill. She's on full HP. They're waiting for her over there at CT spawn, but then she does not, get greedy and go for that Vandal. Unfortunately, that's how you start giving up rounds.
But I think she spotted 2 players, so that's a lot of information for a team.
That is true. That is very true. And she does anticipate Nyx in that angle. She just has to land one shot, even through the wall, that will result in Nyx losing his Vandal over here. And honestly, even though Team Noobs can tank the damage, a Disaster really does have to save that operator. But other than that, I think Team Noobs seem to be fine economically going into the next round. So hopefully, we'll be seeing a very head-on-head battle for round number 17.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Super. And also, you can see how conservatively these people seem to be playing with the right team. Oh, and just as he said that, he tried to get a kill.
That was amazing. Honestly, see, this is what I'm talking about. I think this is what Team Chapralis does not seem to be able to doing. I think they're very dedicated and they have a lot of sync saying, all right, you know what, we're already down in this particular round. Let's just play for eco kills. Let's just play for exit frags. We don't really need to give up our advantage. And Nyx and Disaster, I mean, those 2 kills, they were very crucial because they were the ones with the rifles and they were running ahead. So, I think they've done a decent amount of economic damage. And you see, a lot of the players on the Chapralis team have actually had to buy into this round as opposed to, preserving the rifles from the previous round. So anyway, we're heading into round number 17 with a fairly head-on-head setup. No operator on Team Chapralis' end though. And here it goes.
Alright, pretty typical stuff. Sova sending out his drone. There seems to be a slight mid-aggression from the attacker's side. As usual, Sova trying to get a little more information, and Hakai coming in with the first wall bank shot. Hakai coming in with the second, and Disaster following up with the third operator shot. And just like that, the attackers lose their momentum.
Honestly, yeah, it's a 5v2 and now it's 4v1. Can Sage try, even attempt to get that round win? Does she anticipate Disaster in this angle? She clearly does, but then that wall does get taken down. Can she even cross over?
Oh, and Sage gets the kill onto Disaster, but...
Yeah, Sage playing those angles, I mean, somebody gave her Yoru or Reyna, honestly. I don't think she's meant to be playing a Sage right now. What do I even call her? No name, she who shall not be named, I have no clue. But clearly, seeing a Sage above an initiator and controller on the scoreboard is really, really good stuff. But it really shows that Chapralis did not really think about what they want to do with that player, and just relegated her to a sentinel position. Now we're heading into round 18, and once again, Team Chapralis have been relegated to a very weird buy with marshals and specters and everything.
Look at Disaster trying to. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
You haven't? I mean, that's one of the very cheeky plays that come out in the first ever season of Valorant.
I think.
Yeah, North American players are especially creative with stuff like this. They're trying to get that position out of random places all across the map, and very creative, honestly.
Daz seems to have taken a little bit of damage, which might put him at a disadvantage, but he still gets a headshot onto Sage.
But he does not anticipate walking in that angle. I think that they were going to convert that anyway, but Cyclops Elite does follow it up with a kill. Honestly, they're not looking too bad considering they've only lost 1 player, and it's a 4v2 with Disaster trying to get that kill on with Herald, but does not. And Momomilkis follows up with a classic kill. Lovely stuff by Momomilkis, but Hakai shuts her down then and there. Nyx does
the follow-up.
Yeah, honestly, Reyna v Reyna, Omen v Omen. I think Team Noobs are trying to play it very poetically, and they're trying to hold a very aggressive stance against Team Chapralis and the dominant form so far.
That works.
Alright, now heading into round 19. We see Team Noobs seems to have a large advantage. Disaster holding the operator like every other round. I think the attacker side will now try to aggressively push A and sort of storm into A as soon as possible. Utility. Alright, okay, and Walkie comes out with his ult, trying to make the hit onto Hakai, who has been a thorn in their side. And Hakai is down.
Unfortunately, takes down one of the highest fraggers of the Team Chapralis, and Disaster follows it up with 2 kills on the Walkie and Butterfly, and absolutely divides the floor. Sage is left alone once again. I bet she's really frustrated right now because this is like the 4th or 5th time that's happening, and Daz wipes the floor with her, finishes it off, and puts the 12th round on the board for Team Noobs.
Match point.
It's a very fantastic, very successful first map so far for Team Noobs, and honestly, right now, if as Chapralis can pull out 5 rounds and even contest for overtime, that'll be a big deal.
All right, match point for noobs. Looking at the weapon setup, we can see that Team Noobs already has a really strong economy, while Chapralins seem to be very desperate. They've gone for everything they could. This is the Hail Mary play that we'll be seeing out of
Right.
Chapralins.
Oh my god, that initial Sova ult right there does not capitalize on a kill, but then does damage and a lot of damage onto Team Chipralis. Even Chamber with his ult and follows up with a kill on Butterscotch and absolutely wipes the floor with Chipralis. Dominant form, shuts them down, and we're heading into map 2 with 13-7 against in favor of Team Noobs over here. Absolutely fantastic match, Mighty. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, Team Noobs really made a very good comeback. If you remember, the first few rounds, Team Noobs weren't doing that well. They seem to have really understood the strategies and the weaknesses of Team Chapralis and really made them pay for it in every way possible. Also, towards the end, I think they almost lost respect, pushing in almost every single angle, not thinking about what kind of angles Team Chapralis were holding. Especially releasing the ult right in the beginning of a round, pretty rare move, but also very ballsy.
It's very ballsy. I think the reason why they did that is because it caused that initial chaos. Really scatter the team because once that ult comes in, everybody just scrambles, right?
Right.
And because of that, you just want to create as much as space. But in that process, you lose a lot of the cohesion a team has. So unfortunately, they played right into Team Noobs' hands and just finished it off.
I think we'll see a couple of ad roll.
All right, we're heading into map 2, which is supposed to be bind according to the map pick so far. And we're going to be right back with this ad. All right, guys, welcome back after those messages from Kryptonics. Kryptonics bringing to you custom PC solutions for gaming and consistent performance all across the board. All right. Sorry, what are your opinions on this match so far? Because honestly, that has been, I was very excited for it. Even though it was a very even matchup, suddenly, Team Noob switched something on, got that secret ingredient out and absolutely wiped the floor with Team Chipralis over there.
Honestly, I was actually impressed by the performance of Cyclops Elite. It's very hard to watch. It's very hard finding Chambers who are very good at offense. I think he used the sniper pretty well in a couple of occasions. Right now, in the upcoming match, I'm expecting a couple of changes to the agents by the players, especially the one who must not be named. I think we'll choose not to play Sage, hopefully, not to play Sage for a map like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking because I think that Sage or whoever that player was, again, no name. Please, honestly, it's a nightmare for casting, guys. Pick a name, pick any name, but really, I think that player was very underutilized. Very unfortunate, really, considering that they could have used that player and really turned the tide, especially if they were a duelist. The sheer number of rounds that Sage was just left alone in the fray. What there was like 5 rounds or 6 rounds or something. I mean, that player must have been really frustrated, honestly, and I really feel for them in that situation.
Personally, I have a feeling that we'll look at Cypher coming out in this map. From what I've heard, for a map like Bind, Cypher is most effective, especially because of the number of walls where you can use the laser thingy and the camera thingy. I'm sorry, I'm not sure about the skill sets because I myself am a CS player.
Yeah, honestly, dude, these abilities are so confusing with the new agents like KO and Neon. What is going on? All right, it feels like a drug-fueled frenzy of kids running around across the entire map, just doing random things, and really, I mean, coming from a Counter-Strike background, all of these mechanics are very confusing. But it's very entertaining because you never really imagined a 5v5 shooter to be this creative, this vertical, this dynamic. Considering that CS has been pretty much static over the past decade.
That is true, Super. All right. I think at the moment we're waiting on one player to join the lobby, and pretty soon we'll be heading out into our match that is going to be in Bind.
It is
Do
important
you
to
have,
remember. Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
do you have any expectations out of Team Noobs? Do you know if which team you think will have an advantage? Which team do you think will do better?
Actually, I think my opinions have just been topsy turvy right now because the no-name player over here has just been swapped out. It's a substitution on Team Chapralis's end, and we have a new player called Lion joining the roster right now. Maybe Lion can bring that much needed consistency to the Team Chapralis squad, and equalize them. Equalize them as far as game point goes. Because if Team Noobs take away Bind, they win the tournament, man. The big prize, the grand prize, that's all theirs. They take away the bragging rights and everything.
Absolutely right, Soap. A lot on stake here for Team Chapralis. And I honestly have a feeling that the substitution will do good to the team because the last time we saw a substitution, I think Daz replaced Haiku,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. Yeah, the top fragger of the previous match. And they seem to do really well and really convert the game. So I think the substitution, given that this map is slightly different and requires a certain level of expertise, might really do a lot of benefit, give a lot of benefit to Team Chapralis, much needed benefit. All right.
You know what? You're not wrong, Mikey, because substitutions really. If Chipralis has a vision, has that sort of understanding. All right, these people are good in mind. I think we can use them effectively. Let's see. But then it's important to remember that they had a similar intuition, considering putting no name for Sage in the Ascend map. But clearly that didn't work out very well for them because the Sage was not using their own Sage abilities, instead relying on their sheer aim and mechanical power. But okay, we're going into bind for the next map 2 of the finals of the Nexus SNU tournament sponsored by Cryptronics. And we're seeing again a very balanced setup, although
Select your
Nick
agent.
seems to have changed Omen into a slightly more controller role. That's Brim. Brim, of course, we know uses his mollies and smokes to divide up the map, which will really help in retakes and defense as well. Daz seems to have shifted from, I think he was Sova earlier, and now he's going to be using Chamber, which is an interesting change.
what's important to note is that Chapralis have still gone for a Sage in the anyway, even though it has not really worked out for them in the previous match. Now, the last time we saw a Sage in map bind, the squad lost. Now, I'm hoping that Team Chapralis can really change their opinion that has been formed in our minds, and take away the game win from Team Noobs over here. Now, obviously, you mentioned the Brim substitution for Omen over here, but then. Clearly, Team Noobs and Team Chapralis both are going into this with some sort of an idea as to how they want to approach the entire game. All right, after a few technical difficulties, we seem to be back and ready to go. Team, let me just get a heading of the squads. You know who's playing what. Okay, it seems to be that Team Chapralis are playing on the attacker side with Team Noobs defending. Now, this is opposite to what they're doing in the previous match. And they're setting up for an A push over here, an A split in bathroom and middle.
You know what surprises me is that Daz chose to buy a Ghost, given that a Chamber's ability is already automatic and gives you the scoped diesel, the scoped sheriff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That is a little tricky, but clearly, it doesn't seem to be working for them at all. It's a 5v2. And I'm honestly, Jesus Christ, because Walkie does get that one kill and converts into 4v1, but I don't think they can do anything more in that situation. Daz follows it up with a kill on Walkie, and just
Team Noobs dominating start.
Yeah.
Very impressive. 4 people staying alive
It's important to note that Team Noobs took the pistol round victories in
in every single match.
Yeah.
That is true.
everything I've casted so far. Team Noobs has been winning the pistol round very consistently, good form so far. I hope that they can keep this team momentum going for their sake.
Typically, we've also seen the pattern that round 2 is won by the team that won the pistol round. So it is pretty normal for us to expect that team will come out with the second.
It's important to know that Chapralis have not bought into any armor whatsoever. They seem to be heavily in favor of saving their money for the coming coming into the next entire game. Mama Milkis follows up that single heavy martial buy with a kill, but Disaster wraps it up with that Sova nade over there, Sova dart.
I think we're going to be watching someone Daz walk into Walkie, and Walkie just he does what he could, but
Yeah,
unfortunately.
honestly. I had this argument with a friend of mine, saying that the shorty is really powerful and you just need to aim it properly. But that's really not the case. I think they've really nerfed the shorty a lot. That
Right.
first shot does deal a lot of damage, and I really feel for Walkie over there.
Player
But
standing.
again, like in this situation, you really do have to land those two shots in order to follow it up with a kill, even though it's very close range. Otherwise, in my opinion, it's a very, very important change to have made by Riot, because honestly, if you're that close and you know you're gonna get a kill, considering the crosshair is that big, I think that opens up the weapon for abuse. So props to Riot for finally a game balancing change to the game. Otherwise, it's all really frustrating. Not gonna lie. But anyway, we're heading into round 3 with Team Noobs preserving their specters and one vandal. But Chapral is really buying into this round with a judge and full stack of rifles. They seem to be setting up for a B push in hookah. Chamber, plays that aggressive positioning but teleports back onto the side. Now, hopefully, they can, convert only specters into a round win for them. But otherwise, they're going up against rifles, so the odds are heavily stacked against their favor.
Okay, now we see the attacking side pushing in, and they get the first kill onto Daz. Walkie's location being detected by the Sova of the defense team. 2v4 already. Mama Milky is really doing the heavy lifting at the moment. Mama Milky is continuing her push, but now realizing that it is better to play conservatively and perhaps taking a slightly more conservative angle. She spots a player on there. Disaster trying to sort of even the odds by getting a kill, but to no avail. Butterscotch trying to get the wall bang onto Disaster, almost there, but just misses it by a little. Disaster is the only one that's alive, trying to figure out where, from which angle the enemies will unfold. And Butterscotch gets the final kill, unfortunately.
Honestly, top job over there by Team Chapralis, because I mean that could have not gone any better for them, considering that they were buying into that round that heavily. They did lose 2 players in the fray though, so it's a little difficult. But you mentioned Mama Mia instead of Mommy Milk, and honestly, that's the kind of job, that's the kind of reaction that she was trying to generate in that round. Mama Mia, because honestly, Team Noobs did not anticipate that momentum coming in from Team Chapralis going into round 3. Now, as we're heading into round 4, hopefully Team Noobs can equalize all of that pressure that Team Chapralis applied in the previous round with rifles of their own. And another room pushed by them. But unfortunately for Team Chapralis, Nix and Hakai wrap the floor with Team Chapralis's players in bathrooms. HKK Gamer cannot capitalize on that momentum that they've lost, and honestly, I think Chapralis is relegated to one of those positions again where they're confused, they don't know what to do, and the Sova Dart tries to get them in a little information that does allow Butterscotch to get that kill onto Nix, who gave away his position to get the Sova drone. But hold on, I'm gonna have to swallow my words here, because Team Chapralis have turned it around and turned it into a 2v2 instead of 4v2. Now the spike is going to get planted, and Butterscotch does move out of the way just in time, otherwise she would have gotten damaged with the raise nade over here. And you plays that to perfection, does avoid detection,
player
but
standing.
unfortunately, Cyclops does get that kill onto
But you must notice that was actually very smart play. She moved away just in time for the wall bang not to hit her, and once he stopped hitting the wall bang, she came back to that position, not letting the person expect that that person is actually waiting there.
That is true, that is true. But hey, look at this. I mean, we're worried about Team Chapralis going in, and they've put their second round on the board for them, capitalizing on that initial rifle victory. They're going in with a lot of momentum, and Walkie gets a fantastic kill onto Disaster.
We haven't seen much of a contribution by the new substitute Lion, who we were expecting to be the map genius. Perhaps in the coming rounds we'll see a little more use of Lions.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see a good plays by Lion, because the controller can really set you up properly, or make or break the game for you. And if that job is not well done, then unfortunately there's little that we can do. Now Walking is getting a lot of that initial information, heading into the elbow and everything. And they seem to be capitalizing on that information particularly effectively, considering that Mom
Caution
Milky
here.
just eliminates 2 players of their Team Noobs squad. They have planted the spike, and I think this is the moment where Team Noobs are, trying to battle with the decision: do they want to save or do they want to, try to play for the round win? Considering that their economy is not looking particularly good, I would suggest for them to save. But Daz uses his ult and follows it up with a kill on stage. Does that economic damage to the Team Sepralis squad? He's playing those angles. He's trying to look out for some kills over here. But unfortunately, I don't think they're playing to win. They're just trying to take away guns from the Chapralis gang. And unfortunately, it does not seem to be working too well for them. And considering that Daz has only been able to salvage a sheriff, maybe they might be able to get that kill onto Raze and get one rifle, going into the next round. But no, he does not seem to be focused on the rifle particularly. He's very focused on this, and he gets eliminated by Mama Malkis, who puts that 3rd kill.
I'm a little curious about the ult that Daz used. I see that he took out the rifle twice at different moments, the ult rifle twice at different moments, and was able to shoot. So does that mean that even if you make a couple of shots, you're able to get the ult out a little later?
That is true. It's very similar with the Jet ult and the with the Chamber ult. Is that considering that they're limited use, the developers really wanted them to be able to utilize it in a round, in the capacity of a round, as much as they can if activated. But anyway, Team Surprise seem to be setting up towards the B push over here and absolutely sends that message. It drops Daz dead to the floor in the initial part of the round. The teleporter is open, but unfortunately it seems to be a fake as HKK Gamer is biding his time. He's waiting for somebody to push in from A or into B, and clearly
seeing no one came, but they're making the push for B.
The push for B, and it's important to note that they are going up against a full stack of rifles, so they have to be very careful nonetheless. Walkie is sending out the recon dart. Nix is trying to keep it equal. It's a 4v4 for the Chapralis versus Team Noob. Walkie does eliminate that one player in Nix and does get that kill onto Disaster as well. Mom and Milkies and Walkie are converting this head on head, and Race is the only remaining player. Do they even know that she's there? Lion, oh my god, Lion cannot make it work, unfortunately for him. But Walkie follows it up with the 3rd kill. Mama Milkies and Walkie doing all the heavy carrying in this round, and honestly, I think Team Chapralis have to be very thankful to them putting their 4th round on the board.
Alright, heading into round 7. Not unexpectedly, Team Noob seems to be trying to save up their economy, while we see Team Chapralis with a full buy, all utility full. This round they seem to actually favor the mid B push, especially toward hookah. We have seen that in 2 rounds that have worked for them, and I think they are continuing the trend, hoping for the best. Again, Raze is already pushed up, going into hookah. Team Noob trying to sort of support their teammates at A. Sova left all alone, waiting for the push to come in. Tries a shot, misses it, but also lets people know. And the ult coming out, trying to get a couple of shots off. Damages a couple of players, which should make it easier on their team. Alright.
Unfortunately for Team Chapralis, for Team Noobs over here, Sova does lag out a bit and runs out of his ult. Unfortunately for him, it's a little bit of bad luck that you really can't, help in this situation. But unfortunately for Team Noobs, they have kept all 5 players on the board, and they can still continue contributing to this fight. As we see Team Chapralis moving towards the A side, and hopefully Team Noobs can make the sheriffs work and get that round win.
Did you see what Team Noobs just did? They all had the right idea. They were all shifting. I mean, most of them were at least rotating towards A for the defense. But at the last minute, some call out came out. I think because of Omen from Team Chapralis, 3 people stayed back, which sort of emptied A. And now, all right, but the players have rotated back. Team Chapralis took too long to make the offense, and now they might regret what they're doing.
Unfortunately for Team Chapralis, Noobs is making these pistols work. Cyclops was, Raze was coming in. Warhammer was coming in and, trying to get that ult kill, like the previous Raze did on Team Noobs' end. But Jesus Christ, that was an amazing 50 win, because I think Team Noobs played that to perfection, because all of the ults they used did deal significant damage, and they shut down the ult from a Raze. Now the ult from a Raze is absolutely a death sentence. If that touches you or is anywhere near you, you're out for the count. So I think Team Noobs did a top
Need a
job,
drop.
and honestly, Team
Thanks.
Brothers have to get their bearings,
I'll
get
find
together,
them. Right
and
here.
sort their stuff out, and moving into round 8.
Deploying drone.
Alright, round 8, pretty standard stuff. A couple of information exchanges.
I have
People
the
trying to
spike.
find out where they are. First actions in bathroom. We might see. Alright, Cyclops Elite takes out Butterscotch and knows there is another teammate waiting there. Two
Seem to
people
be
there.
two
And
people.
Lion, I think, gets his first on the board.
No.
Yes, that's the first on the
Wow,
board.
that's amazing. I think Lion
Last
will need
player
that redemption
standing.
over here, but Hakai shuts
Spike
everybody
down
down
A.
on the Team Chipralis end. I mean, even though they're not looking dominant yet, Team Noobs are sending that message that, all right, don't you worry
There.
about us. And you have to remember that Disaster on Team Noobs' end was absolutely AFK for the majority of that round. He just reconnected. And Hakai followed up the 4 kill, doing all the heavy lifting for Team Noobs in that situation. Really did a top job on
You
it.
know, Hakai as a player has been absolutely dominating the last 2-3 games that we've seen him
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Every round, easy 2-3 kills, and especially when it counts and matters for the team, she's always there to pick up the
Yeah.
pieces. And
One thing that's especially commendable are Hakai's eco kills that are done with the sheriff. I think they really turned the tide of a round, and they even got an eco win in the previous round, as well as an eco win going into the previous map Ascent. Now, seeing as Team Chapralis and Team Noobs are heading on into the ninth round with fairly equal setups so far. It's important to note that there have been a lot of heavy hitters, especially Walkie, considering he's been left alone for a large part of the couple of rounds that we've seen. Walkie is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Team Chapralis, and very commendable, honestly, because the 10 kills he's put, they've usually meant round victories for Team Chapralis. So his aggressive positioning or his creative plays are really what give Team Chipralis that momentum that they so need. But it's important to note that we're heading. We've done a time pause because Disaster on Team Noobs' end is AFK and he's not able to buy even though he has an economy. So there seems to be a technical timeout, and we will be right back with you. All right, welcome back. We're hoping for this technical timeout to end quickly, but until then, I really want to talk about that play that Team Noobs made in their eco win, because you have to note 3 ults went into that round. Not even 3, 4 ults. We saw a Sova ult that unfortunately was affected by Disaster's connection issues, but other than that, all of the Team Noobs' ults were very effective, as we previously discussed. It is important to note that Sage from team
Chapralis.
Team Chipralis, my bad, was actually trying to do damage limitation by resurrecting one of her teammates, and hoping, considering that they had rifles, hoping that they can convert it into a round win. And unfortunately, that was never able to work out for them. It's really unfortunate for Team Chipralis, but anyway,
Right.
the technical time is ending. The technical pause is ending, and we're heading into round 9 with fairly equal standings on the board. Rifle v rifle round. Let's see.
The attacker side seems to be very keen on sort of entering A through the A lamps area. And okay, so you see what SKK Gamer did
yeah,
there? He used the satchel to be able to sort of
See,
push
that
through
that
and
is
jump.
the importance of a duelist, a duelist who knows what their abilities can do. Because HK Gamer has not brought that momentum so far. And
Last
look,
player
they've converted into 5v1, and honestly, with that technical timeout, I mean, clearly, Team Chiplas have been able to iron out some of the difficulties they've been
Quiet
having.
now.
Disaster does get that kill onto HK Gamer, considering how low they were. I think it was a very straightforward kill, but Mama Milkis was right there to follow it up with her second kill on the board. Top job by Team
Team
Chipralis.
Chipralis.
Yeah, really,
Absolutely.
really great.
Right. Actually, I was wondering. So, the whole. Do you remember the discussion on how Butterscotch or Sage using her ultimate ability to resurrect someone, especially when it's a 1v1, is a good idea or not?
Yeah.
So I actually think another reason resurrecting someone as soon as possible is favorable is because you would be able to save a rifle as well.
That's
So
true.
that would give some economic benefit
That's
in addition to sort of minimizing the risk.
But one does have to remember that it is the meta game after all, and you really have to conserve it, because the ult is also an economic advantage. And so you have to make that economic decision of
Spike
saving
down
it for
A.
next round. But as we speak, Team Noob seem to have been awoken once again, and turn it into a 3v3.
Oh,
over here.
but let's not stop there because Walkie is not hearing that for an answer. He is giving it right back to them and calling it quits.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, and Disaster gets on 2 kills consecutively in the same area.
That was amazing, honestly. I think both of the teams did a top job over here in this situation. That initial aggression that really got them the round win in the previous round. Team Surprise unfortunately did not convert that into a very free-flowing
Right here.
momentum, but still a top job by them. And unfortunately, Noobs was just able to anticipate it perfectly.
Alright, heading into round 11. Disaster has now decided to come over to site A as opposed to the usual site B that he usually plays.
It is important to know that Disaster was still on the A side over here.
The last round as well.
Last round
Yeah.
does get the crucial 2 kills for the round victory. His recon bolt has been destroyed, but he uses the shock darts and hopefully to some kind of advantage. Does not do any damage, but he's still holding his ground. And Hakai, HK Gamer does play that. Oh my god, what even happened in that
So
situation?
quick,
Because
oh my god.
Daz really just picked those 3 kills up. HK Gamer
Last
tried that
round
classic
before
strat,
the
I'm
switch.
gonna move in with the judge, I'm gonna get those 3 kills for you, don't worry boys, but unfortunately gets shut down in the first try. Really terrible news for Team Chapralis over here. But honestly, props to Team Noob for, holding their ground and keeping a level head throughout this entire game.
Absolutely super. They pushed when they had to and it really paid off. Really a lot of good clips coming out of this game. I think the players would want to sort of save it up for later.
No
Yeah,
prisoners.
honestly, I really wish we could really enhance the production quality of events like these because it provides a lot of recognition, especially portfolio-wise to event organizing group.
Right.
But anyway, we're moving into round 12 with a B-split setup. Honestly, I don't think Chapralis seems to have a particular sense of direction. What do they want to be doing in this round? Considering that they're on partial buy of rifles and SMGs. Now they're pushing up into hookah, hoping to get a kill there.
And Nick really, right.
Yeah, Nix does get that initial kill on HK Gamer, but
Mama Milky
unfortunately,
trades. Cyclops tries to trade it, but is unfortunate.
yeah, Bomb Milky shut off both kinds of aggression in that situation against Nix as well as against HKK Gamer. Cyclops Elite over there. Daz has pulled out his ult, so he can clearly shut down the B side if he so chooses. Walkie
player
is blocked
standing.
off, but as we
Spike
Hakai
realize,
down.
coming
B.
alive again.
yep,
Nothing surprising there given Hakai's performance so far. Absolutely incredible and Disaster comes and closes the round.
I think Disaster did a top job over there. Unfortunately for Walkie over here, he got blocked off by his own Sage wall in the teleporter, and that's why he was
Right.
biding his time there. Disaster just did the recon board, got shot down. He knew that there was something going on in there, walked in and wiped the floor with him. I unfortunately feel for for Team Chapralis over here.
Walkie got walked on.
Honestly, yeah. I guess you're competing with me on the puns then. All right. So what? It's a 3 rounds on the board for me and 1 round for you. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. All right, we're heading into round 13, and Team Chapralis have little to show for, especially considering, they've been losing rifle rounds and one eco round. But anyway, a new half, a new start for Team Chapralis and Team Noobs. Can they continue this momentum going into round 13?
The early recon coming in from Sova, trying to tag players. I think he just tagged one. And we see a very aggressive play by the attacker side. They're pushing into A lamp, and now they've come into A halls. And he gets the first kill onto HKK Gamer. Very close call. The smokes are beautiful. It's perfectly blocking of the line of sight.
Yeah.
And a little bit of spam damage onto Butterscotch.
Yeah, I mean,
Very good aim game.
honestly, yes. I think Team Noobs just has that better idea of how they want to aggress and when they want to aggress and just executing it effectively. Cyclops Elite gets that very weird space kill. It's really comical to see kills like that, and I really feel for Chapralis in this situation. Unfortunately for Team
Walkie
Chapralis,
realizes that this is the sort of stronghold for the attacker's team, and
even though he does get that kill onto Cyclops, the Daz is right there to avenge his teammate, and follows it up with a round win for Team Noob. Now we're heading into round 14 with 8 rounds on Team Noob's side. I really hope this Chapralis can find their bearings and provide them equal competition, because unfortunately for Team Chapralis, if they do not win this match, if they do not win this game, they are not going to get any other chances. That is going to be a 2-0 in the tournament series, and with Team Noobs finally taking away the big prize in this tournament.
Okay, for this round, Team Chapralis seem to be back at A halls, A lamp, trying to sort of make their way through with sort of Cyclops the lead being the lurk. She spots someone mid, but I think she will play it a little safe. I don't think. Despite the time planted so quickly, oh my god, they pushed in.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, and it's important to note that they haven't even bought into this round with any kinds of pistols or anything. Walkie tries to capitalize with that shorty, but then unfortunately cannot do anything with it. Now, Lion is keeping it alive. He tried to be a lion, honestly, in that situation, but I don't think he can do anything more, because he was being attacked from several fronts, on his right, on his front. Really tricky positioning for an Omen in that situation. Unless you're a duelist, you can do very little to capitalize on such a tough spot you're in. But yes, Team Noobs do put that 9th round on the board for themselves. Team Chapralis looking a little uncomfortable in this situation, a really good, decent economic stand for Team Chapralis right now. Hopefully, like they did in the previous half, convert this into a round win for them, and maybe they can take that momentum and bring us a map 3, a really interesting series so far, considering Chapralis' dominant form. But let's see what both of the teams can do.
Alright, given from the positions they seem to be standing in, they are again back at A lamps with almost no presence at B. I think they've decided not to go with the lurk because of the failure last time, and sort of fully focus on A lamps. I don't understand why they seem to be so focused on A lamps, given it hasn't really worked out for them for the last 3 rounds. But perhaps they have something really up their sleeve, or someone's ult that seems to be ready. Lion over here, waiting for the lion to roar.
Honestly, yes, but I think, Mindy, you might have been confused. I think you've been talking about Team Chapralis on the attacking side, but right now we're seeing Team Noobs on the attacking side, and they've been using their aggression quite effectively so far in the half. But that's all right, because honestly, that really does tell Chapralis that what they need to be doing and how effectively they need to be doing it, because Team Noobs are beating Chapralis in their own game right now.
Alright, okay. We're 10 seconds out for the round to start. Really exciting stuff coming in. I think Hakai is positioned to be the first player entering and get sort of opening kills for his team. Let's see what he can do. Okay, it's Hakai and Raze peeking in together. Oh, that was some pretty accurate shooting, but thanks to the wall, HK Gamer survives. Hakai just pushing in. Perfect smokes by Brim. Alright. a lot of ground gained by Cyclops for his team.
Akai is trying to capitalize on it, and oh my god, how did the judge not work in that situation? You just got CS gold, bro, in that situation. I mean, I don't even know what to tell you because the judge was there, the headshot was right there, but unfortunately, the game just did not seem to be willing to give the kill. But saving grace
down
for
A.
Chapralis. Chapralis shuts the spike plant down, and it's a 2v2 on the board for team 2v2 in going into round 15. Now,
Disaster along with his teammates seem to be rushing into B.
Enemy
And Mama Milky is there
Spike
just in
down
time to be
B.
able to defend it.
yeah, I think Mama Milky's kept that level head. It was very important because if Mama Milky's went down, it was very little that Butterscotch could have done in that situation to get that round win. Daz seemed to be having a
30
connection
seconds
issue
left.
or something along those lines, considering that he's been AFK in this round.
But looking at the scoreboard, super. I think it's only Mama Milkies and Walkie that are actually changing the tides of the game. I think what noobs really need to do is sort of focus on taking out those two players because once those
10
two are down,
seconds
the
left.
entire
You're
sort of
not wrong.
roster is
Yeah, you're
on the
not
fall.
wrong, sorry, because honestly, we've talked about this. We've talked about how Sage was not really effective in the previous map as well, but Team Plus seem to not have gotten that message and still continue to use Sage in their matchup. I think they might have just gone a little bit cocky considering how dominant they've been in the series so far. So unfortunately for them, they're very little things that they can do in this situation.
If I'm being honest, Super, I think I can sort of understand the reason as to why they decided that they needed a Sage in spite of their early defeat. Because Mama Milkies and Walkie seem to be the main dominating forces in this team, they really can't afford to sort of not have a second shot. So in case one of the top fraggers die, they would need someone to sort of revive the top fragger.
But you see, in that situation, that's a very Hail Mary situation. You know, you're really putting the entire brunt of the team on these two players. And if one of these players die, chances are that the Sage has already died in that process. At least in the previous map in Ascent, Sage used to survive till the end of the rounds. In this situation, Butterscotch is unfortunately not able to stay alive for as long as possible. Although Butterscotch has turned a lot of game-changing kills even in the previous round. Butterscotch prevents a spike plant onto A, which prompts noobs to panic and go to B, try to get the bomb plant down. Where Mama Milky shuts Hakai down. Unfortunately for Disaster down. Now, unfortunately for Team Chapralis, Team Noobs, they do not seem to have gotten Daz back. Actually, no, they have, and we're heading into round 17 with round 16 with fairly equal economic setup by both the teams. A Spectre on one end and a pistol on the other. That's fine. That's not a big deal. Nyx has not been able to do a lot of the heavy pushing. The Omen Flash does come in, but really nothing to capitalize on right now. Hopefully, the Steam Beacon propels Team Noobs into another round victory for them, considering that they lost the previous round. But I'm honestly, as controversial as this may have been, I'm kind of rooting for Team Chapralis right now.
All right. Okay. So Disaster and Hakai taken down, which sort of puts a really big dent and question mark onto the chances of their victory in this round. Daz trying to gain recon and ground. HK Gamer over here sort of uses the satchel to propel herself forward, destroys the teleportation device, and trying to make some space for her team. Yeah,
Enemy remaining.
Butterscotch gets a one, and there you go. We were just talking about how Sage has been effective, and there you go. She really turns the tide of this round and sort of propels the team to victory.
It's important to note that Chapralis really shut down that initial momentum that was displayed by Team Noobs in that round, and Butterscotch seeing a Sage get those kills is amazing, and honestly, really good news to Chapralis that they're able to inch closer to equalizing the round wins so far.
Right here.
All right, we're heading into round 17 over here, and let's see what Team Chapralis can do. Maybe keep this momentum going for them. Team Noobs seem to be going in for a split, classic A split with two judges and pistols over here. And Hakai has gotten that work done before, but Mama Milky shuts him down initially. I think Mama Milky offers no quarter
Spike
right now.
down
He's
A.
really pissed off. He really wants to take this win and take it to the match, the third map of the series. they're all biding their time, and considering that this is an eco round, it should be a pretty straightforward win for Team Chocolates.
All right, Walkie sort of making sure there's no one lurking in from hookah or mid. HKK Gamer using the satchel to sort of jump up and see if he can get a better angle to sort of get shots out. She's been spotted by Disaster, and the shock dart comes out. Right, the shock dart comes out.
We're seeing a raise ult right now. Can HK Gamer get affected? And yes, he does. Cyclops Elite converts it into a kill. Now it's a 3v3. I think Chapralis might have gone a little too aggressive with Sage at such low HP. They're moving towards B, and Cyclops wraps up that kill on Walkie. They convert into 2v2, but it's important to know the team noobs only have a
30
sliver of
seconds
HP left. But it's also important to know that Sage herself is very, very low with 13 seconds on the clock for her healing ability to come online. Now, Team Noobs seem to be setting up towards that A site, and hopefully get that spike down, which it will. But can Lion get that Lion help their team out finally? Considering their 6 kills on the board, can they convert that into 2 more kills, which will be really crucial for Team Chipralis and to getting this round victory.
Cover going out.
Disaster makes a very smart move there. He releases the dart from one corner and immediately repositions, and that was a very quick reposition, so they wouldn't expect him to be over here.
I think they've completely missed one of the players, but no, Lion does follow that up, follows that kill up with onto Disaster. But honestly, that's a little tricky. And
Lion coming alive! Oh my god,
that's really important. He played that to perfection. Honestly, I don't think that could have gone any better, considering that Sage was super low. I think that's very risky. You wanna, they really did what they could, because you want the low guy to be diffusing so that the one with the higher HP can try to salvage the round, get that kill, and prevent their teammate from coming into any harm. Lion clearly showing them that yes, he is a Lion, and they cannot mess with Team Chapralis as of now. So
really valiant effort from Team Chapralis, sort of trying to claw their way back into an even balance of things. And we again, okay, it is again the attackers coming into A lamps, not changing the strategy, same smoke, same nades, same swim beacon. It is textbook sort of taking over the site.
Now it's important to note that it has worked out for them so far, but then Walkie uses his ult. See, that's the important factor. However, to Team Noobs' credit, the spike has gone down, and Team Chapralis are on a running clock. They have to capitalize on whatever they have. Reina may have to use her ult in this situation and really try to take this away from Team Noobs. But yes, they seem to have been doing an effective job so far, considering that they have access to the spike. But Brim comes in with that ulti and really prevents the diffuse from going down. I think that might have come in a little too early. Yeah, but it's alright, because Chapralis seem to have this one on the board and finally equalize the score.
This is a very interesting graphic, Super. Why do you think these are like neon lights coming on?
I think that's a feature of the skins of the game, man. Because what I do like about Valorant is, even though the game, in my opinion, is very inconsistent, it's a very pretty game, and they do a lot of creative things with their weapons and skins. It might be, you can argue that's a little too distracting, but really top job on the creativity side.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, watching the sort of roster guns, the buys of the players in the roster, we see Hakai with a Vandal, Cyclops with a Sheriff, and everyone else carrying rifles. Although this seems to be a slightly tight economy that Noobs are being subjected to, this round loss would most likely mean that Noobs will not be able to buy for a round or two after this round. So it's really going to be a very tight and hard round for Noobs. What remains to be seen. Alright, so we're at I think one of the players is facing a slight technical issue, so we will be pausing for a minute. While we pause, can we just quickly talk about why the A lamp seems to be the most preferable spot for people to keep doing the executes, though they keep losing. Like Team Noobs hasn't won a round in the last 3 rounds.
I think Team Noobs, they have that that textbook strategy that we talked about in the previous round. I think they have that pretty down to the final point. But unfortunately, it's their post plant setups that are really suffering. They're really not able to capitalize that initial momentum and getting that kill.
Another thing that you can really notice from the scoreboard is that this is really a team game. If you look at Team Noob, the kills are very well distributed. That is, every player has a very strong contribution, as opposed to Team Chapralis, which seems to be lopsided only towards two players.
Yeah.
And that is why they seem to be struggling. Although the last 2-3 rounds wouldn't be indicative of that struggle.
That is true. That is true. All right, we're heading into round 19 with Mama Milky's getting that initial kill onto Hakai, shutting down that top fragger they have. But see, that's really crucial. As long as you put that top fragger so aggressively, and if you lose her, then that really spells doom for your team. Can Mama Milky's get that kill onto Cyclops Elite? And
Mama
he
Milky
does.
gets the kill in air. That is fabulous shooting.
All right, Nyx follows it up with the kill on Butterscotch. There goes the regenerative abilities
One
of the Team
enemy
Chapralis
remaining.
squad. But Lion is right there to pick up the pieces as Mama Milkies and Lion put those 5 kills on the board for Team Chapralis, finally propelling them into an advantage of 10 over 9 rounds.
Lion really coming into his form, especially in the last 3 rounds. He's made some really tight turning plays. Very impressive stuff.
Are we sure that Lion didn't hear a bit of her casting and got a little pissed off? I'm really sorry, Lion, but honestly, you're doing a top job right now, and I really hope you guys can keep the momentum going and take us to a third match, because honestly, that's what's the best for the audience, that's what's the best for players, and it's a lot exciting. It's also important to note that Mama Milky's, with their aggressive positioning, has finally put down the 22nd kill on the scoreboard with the highest kills in the map. Now we're heading into a technical timeout over here. Clearly, some players seem to be having some issues, which seem to be a recurring theme so far.
It most likely is Disaster, because I think he was the one who was AFK in one of the previous rounds. Although this round he seems to be walking. Yeah, he's still AFK. Most likely Disaster.
A gift.
All right. Talking a little bit about Hakai's play so far. I think the team can sort of decide to keep Hakai a little towards the back. Oh, and Lion gets the first shot off of Daz. Standard recon coming in from and standard nade usage from Cyclops. Although this doesn't seem to be as heavy an A split as it used to be. HKK Gamer, some counter utility. That
You
was
were
some
talking
really-
about that A textbook setup that Team Noobs seem to be having, but clearly they seem to be trying to switch it up, and it does not seem to be working. Any sort of experimentation this late into a game really is not favorable unless you have a coach that can really help you out in these late game plays and help you keep that level head. I think Team Noobs are getting a little jittery considering that they're bleeding rounds right now, bleeding economy most importantly. So Team Noobs really need to get this stuff together and hopefully give Chapralis a fair fight.
Yeah, although let's not forget, this is actually not as important a round for Team Noobs, because even though it's critical that they get the point, it's only a Nico, so they didn't really have much hope
Player
that way.
standing.
So perhaps that is why they were a little conservative on the usage of utilities.
Even if it was an eco round, you really want to put some kills on the board even then. And Team Noobs, considering that how masterfully they've played eco rounds so far, this seems to be a little subpar coming from them. All right, we're heading into the next round and round 21, and honestly, Chapralis really coming into the favor with being in a deficit for the past half an hour. But however, Team Noobs have bought into this round fully. Hopefully, Chapralis can give them. Hopefully, Team Noobs can give them a run for their money and salvage some of those guns.
Interesting how Team Noobs have decided to change their strategy. Now they're moving on to mid and hookah. This is more of a B play, which is going to be very different from the rounds that we've seen so far. We see Cyclops already putting his nade down, expecting a player in hookah, rightly so. The first kill down, Daz out, and Cyclops trades HKK Gamer.
But unfortunately for Team Noobs, Lion follows it up with a kill on Cyclops Elite and just wraps up the play with this. Disaster does get that kill onto Walkie and makes it a 3v3, a very crucial moment. But Mama Milky's follows it up with a kill on Disaster and Butterscotch reses HKK Gamer, really propelling this round into the favor of Team Chapralis. Now it's a 4v2 on the board, and hopefully Nyx can get the plan down onto A, because A has been completely left empty. Now it's important to note Hakai's importance in this round. They are in their ult, and they really need to capitalize on this ult. Hakai
player
The first
standing.
kill coming, but Butterscotch really takes her down. That almost kills all hope that Team Noobs have. Nyx trying to do his best, sort of wallbang shots, but HKK Gamer takes Nyx out, and surely enough, that's a round victory for Team Chapralis. That brings them to the match point, and things are not looking very good for Team Noob.
Match point.
All right, hopefully Chapralis can get us that third map we also crucially wanted. But for Team Noob's sake, they really need to pick up the points and they really need to pick up the game and really bring it home. Do you think we'll be able to see overtime over here? Sorry.
In case, actually no, it seems to be a very slight possibility, almost no possibility to be honest, because the economy that Team Noobs have isn't very good. So even if they're able to make the round win, it would be very hard for them to win consecutive rounds. And there you go, Daz gets the first kill onto HKK Gamer.
It's important to note that HKA Gamer was about to unleash that ult onto them. So HKA Gamer was shut down by Daz, and that really takes away some crucial firepower from Team Noobs' Team Chapralis' squad. Team Noobs does have that control onto that B site, plants the spike, and absolutely. Now I'm hoping this is where they can resolve their difficulties because they seem to be messing up on their post-plant situation. So maybe it's better on the B side. Although it doesn't seem to be looking that way, considering that Walkie gets that kill onto Akai, their top fragger so far. Cyclops follows it up with a kill on Battlefield. Mama Wilkes gets down Daz, Cyclops Elite takes on Mama Wilkes, and Walkie is taken out by Disaster. With Cyclops Elite putting down that third kill onto the board.
Star round coming out of Cyclops Elite really. Easy3K provides his team with the opening frags. Also takes out the support that's coming in from the other sides.
Do you realize how crucial that round was? Because honestly, if HK Gamer was not shut down initially in that first part of the round, it could have been a very close round or even a round loss for actually a game win for Team Chapralis. But you know, I was like I was saying, a level head is very important in these situations, and Team Noobs keep it going into round number 23.
And look at that super. They have decided to go back to the area of their losses.
Hopefully they can switch it up a bit and
Hakai gets a frag onto their top fragger.
Really ends that streak that the losing streak he had against Mongo, and Hakai just uses that aggressive positioning. Oh my God, Hakai is waking up in the second half of this game really heavily, and it's a 4v2 going into the favor of Team Noobs. And honestly, Team Chapralis have to be a little scared right now. Oh my God, Hakai is carrying that momentum. The spike has been planted, and look at that, it's been planted on the B side. Team Chapralis are left completely confused. Omen over here does not know what's going around, and Lion, I mean, he seems to be really confused, and unfortunately whiffs a couple of shots onto Nyx, and Nyx follows it up with a kill. It's important to know that Nyx did use his ultimate in that round, so that we won't be seeing that going to the next round. I've just been informed by the production team that there are no overtime in this tournament, so we will be seeing a full map win regardless of an equal scoreboard. And let's see which team gets that first. It's important to know that even Hakai has burned himself up to 22 kills. He's really closely contesting Mama Wilkes for the top spot on the scoreboard regardless of how the game comes out. And we're heading into round 24. Let's see how it goes for both the teams.
Alright, this seems to be a standard setup. They seem to, okay, so the defender side has heard a couple of attackers on the B side and called for rotates over from B toward A.
Although that rotate does seem to be a little stagnant because they're not really committing. Although Team Noobs is completely fine with that because the rotate is slow and they're trying to capitalize on the space they're getting. Butterscotch cannot get anything done, and Sova really prevents that spike plant right now. Butterscotch gets tagged in that fray, in that odd smoke spam. And Team Noobs seem to have lost all that momentum, although the round is still salvageable in a 3v4 situation. Now, it's important to remember for Team Noobs, they can't really go for eco kills because they have to get that spike down. They have to get that spike down and they get that kill onto Butterscotch. There goes any regenerative ability that Team Chapralis had. And Mama Milkies is biding their time. HK Gamers get that kill onto Nyx. That means the spike is left alone in no man's land. Disaster has to salvage this right now. Disaster has to work with... Oh my God,
he gets a wall bang on HK Gamer. A crucial kill needed to sort of make the plant.
Disaster follows it up with a kill on Mama Milkies, and they convert it into a 3v4 to a 2v1. And hopefully, Sova is waiting for them. But hopefully they get the round win for their sake, and we get
This is the round super. Oh, this is the Sova versus Sova we've been waiting for. And Disaster brings it home.
uses his ult as a bunch to show up for the final round, and we're heading
Switching
into
sides.
overtime. All right, we seem to be heading back into overtime. I think that's a little miscommunication, a little bit misunderstanding on my part from the production team. We are heading into overtime, and it's a win by 2 rounds, sort of overtime. So we're seeing, all right. So it's important to note that Disaster, Daz, and the entire Noob squad is back on to the defending side, which has been the stronger side throughout this entire map. They're playing it slow. Daz does not anticipate Raze on his right. I think that'll be really unfortunate, and it is the HKK gamer gets an initial kill onto Daz and converts into 5v4, which is really important for Team Chapralis right now in this stage to take it into the next map.
I see that Team Chapralis seem to be playing very safe. They're trying to, I think, sort of thin out the herd, get a couple of kills, and then decide their final strategy. All right, so HKK Gamer slowly sneaking up mid, while Mama Milky is sort of trying to see if she can find a lurk kill onto in a lamps.
Now, it's important to know that Cyclops equalizes the scoreboard by getting that that first kill for the Team Noobs' gang, and it's 4v4. And Team Chapralis are not really committing aggressively into one side. They're really biding the time. They're really waiting for that aggression, which Chamber gave it away for them initially. But I don't think the Team Noobs are going to be making that mistake yet again in the same round even. Lion is pushing up slowly
30 seconds
on A-long. He waits for that angle. There's nobody there. Hopefully he can anticipate Sova in the garden area, and he does. And unfortunately, Sova
What a turn by Disaster.
Hakai follows up with the kill on Butterscotch. Mama Milky follows up on Hakai. They put this down, and Disaster wipes the floor with Mama Milky with his ult. Sova did a top job there. It's important to note that if Sova did not get those 3 kills, he would not have his ultimate. And if he did not have his ultimate, then maybe the round could have gone in Team Chapralis' favor. So we're heading into overtime match point in the favor of Team Noobs. Again, if Team Noobs wins this round, they will win the grand prize. They will take the bragging rights. They will win the tournament.
This is a one and done round for Team Chapralis.
Right
They
here.
will have to bring everything to the game.
Yeah, they have to be
This is
firing
their
on all
final
cylinders in this particular round, because if they do not,
Revealing area.
also it's important to note that the halves have been switched. So Team Noobs are playing on the aggressive attacker side, and hopefully they can convert this into a round win for their sake, for the tournament's sake. And HK Gamer, they're biding the time. Walkie does that to get that instant kill onto Hakai. HK Gamer follows up with the kill on Cyclops. Unfortunately, Nick takes down 2 of the gang, and it's the 3v3 going into the overtime second round match point. Butterscotch is biding their time, playing it slow. The spike will go down. There's no way it won't. Spike has been planted, and Daz is just biding time with his teleport.
My track.
Let's see if Team Noobs can keep their post-plan situation perfect, or can Team Chapralis really confuse them in this situation.
Disaster in flank, and he gets the kill onto Butterscotch.
Yeah, that elbow positioning against the other team honestly is very crucial. Unfortunately, Disaster does not get that kill onto Mohammed, but will he be able to? Daz does get that kill onto Walkie, and Daz finishes the board.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner.
We have a winner, and Team Noob take it away with the tournament win with the Nexus SNU tournament of Valorant, sponsored by Kryptonics Gaming. Welcome back to the finals of the Nexus SNU Valorant tournament sponsored by Cryptronics. That was a fantastic final series against Team Noobs against Team Chapralis. And really, Team Noobs came into their own. They came in as I suppose you would call the underdogs of the event because Team Chapralis have been enjoying a very, very, very dominant run so far in the series. Unfortunately for Team Chapralis, they were not able to convert that into a tournament win, but they will go home with second prize. Although I don't think they'll be too happy about that. Sorry, what do you think of the match so far?
Well, I think Team Chapralis, two players of Team Chapralis, especially Mama Milkies and Walkies, really had gave it their best. They put up a very valiant effort to sort of bring their team the victory they wanted. They pushed their team onto overtime in spite of the 12-9 lead. I think uh, Team Noobs had. But in spite of all that, Team Noobs really pulled it through. This really goes to show how much teamwork is actually favored over two, three people carrying a team. So yeah, brilliant matchup. Really lovely watching. Really kept us all at the edge of the seats. Back to you, Super.
Yeah, thank you very much, mighty. Sorry, and honestly, yes. Although I think Mama Milkies will be very happy with the kills they had on the scoreboard over there. They really topped the scoreboard with the most kills on the tournament, and really top job by Team Chiplas so far. But unfortunately, Team Noobs does take the final, the crucial, the most important win away from them in the final stages of the tournament. I don't think it could have gone any better for Team Noobs. They played it. They were getting frazzled in the middle of the finals, but they really kept a level head. They revised their strategy. The textbook strategy was becoming a little easy to read. They decided to switch it up. They decided to get a little creative. And unfortunately for Team Chapralis, it seems to have worked out, especially in that final overtime situation. So props to Team Noobs. I feel a little bit for Team Chapralis, but honestly, considering the amount of bullying they've been doing so far in the tournament, the amount of BM, a little cheeky action on the side, I think Team Noobs will be very, very, very happy, completely defeating the dominant team in the series. All right, and now this has been the Nexus SNU tournament sponsored by Cryptronics, and we will be finishing the stream right now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we get to bring you some equally exciting content very soon. Thank you. This is Achintya signing out.
This is Mighty. Sorry, signing off.
All right, we'll see you later.